Welcome back, everybody. We are up here in the gear loft as usual. Today we have a much requested video. We seem to be saying we have much requested videos all the time, but this one is legit very requested. Last year we shot a video that from a high level just kind of compared a bunch of different underquilts, and that video seemed to be received very well. You know, it wasn't in-depth reviews on all of them necessarily, so we're going to do the same thing today with a bunch of different hammocks from your favorite manufacturers. Like I said, this is going to be pretty high level. Now for 2/3 of these hammocks we have separate reviews on them if you want to go like a little bit more in depth about them, but we're going to keep this high level and we are going to be talking pros, cons, what to do with the Warbonnet Blackbird XLC, the Dutchware Chameleon, and the Dream Hammock Darien.
Yeah, and I think, you know, we're going to be like Switzerland here. We're going to be pretty neutral because it's, like, I'm not in a position to say one is necessarily always better than the other. And
there's certainly situations that merit.
Yeah, certainly.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah, there are situations, but don't go into this video thinking that we're gonna talk about these hammocks and then at the end say we recommend, you know, a certain one, because that's not the case. They're all fantastic hammocks, and the reason we still own them is because they're fantastic.
Yeah.
So,
and we'll more so recommend certain ones for certain situations.
Sure.
So with that said, let's kick it off. And the first hammock we're going to talk about is the first hammock we ever bought. That is the Warbonnet Blackbird XLC. Now, huge caveat in that Warbonnet has since upgraded this design and changed a lot of stuff about it.
Yeah, this is the older version.
This is the older version, and there is a newer version that has some additional features we'll talk about. But kicking this off, this is a Warbonnet Blackbird XLC in a single layer.
Yeah, 1.7 I think.
1.7. And
this is an aftermarket stuff sack for it because I actually lost the regular one that it came with. So yes. I just have it in this Dyneema one. But yeah, this is the first hammock we ever got. With the suspension, like the tree huggers that it comes with, and it's got whoopee slings on it, you're coming in about 27 ounces, roughly, about 200 bucks.
All these hammocks are kind of around the same price point.
Yeah, all the hammocks are around with options. You're looking at about $200. But this is about 27 ounces. This is actually probably the heaviest hammock that we have in our inventory right now.
Bulkiest too.
The heaviest and bulkiest that we have. Like I said, it's got whoopee slings on it, which are great. It's the only hammock that we have that has whoopee slings on it anymore. I think we've kind of moved away from whoopee slings into more of the
into tree straps.
Yeah.
Whoopee slings have their place.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, we've had this for about 2 years, and you know, every time I go backpacking and my wife comes, I sleep in the Blackbird because she takes the Chameleon, and then every time I get in the Blackbird, it's wonderful. Like, it's a great hammock.
Yeah.
It's super comfortable, and you know, we don't have to put all these extra add-ons on it because it's got that amazing shelf on it.
Yeah, so the biggest pro to this hammock is the shelf. And if you've never seen a shelf, you know, we'll be throwing B-roll in this whole video. We'll show what it looks like, but it is without a doubt the best accessory. It's not really an accessory because it's built into the hammock, but without a doubt the best accessory on any hammock we've ever seen. You know, the Chameleon has a sidecar, which is good. It's not as good as the shelf though.
Yeah.
But a con to that is you got more weight, and because of that shelf, on this hammock you can't switch the direction of the lay, but on the new XLC you can do that.
Yeah.
This hammock, another pro, we like that it's made in Colorado.
Made in the great state of Colorado. We love Colorado, so you know, made by the great folks in Colorado.
Yeah. Another thing I like about this hammock is you have the ability to get what's called their Yeti underquilt for it.
Yeah, that's such a cool design.
It's a very cool design. If you've never seen it, the Yeti underquilt is an underquilt that is built specifically for this hammock, and the way it kind of attaches to the hammock is very unique. And the way it keeps you warm is very unique, and that is very cool. Now, the downside is that with some fiddling you can get it to work on other hammocks, but the Yeti is made for the XLC.
Yeah, and I think one thing that when we talk about the Blackbird, you know, I don't know if I'd call this a disadvantage, but if you're concerned about weight of the hammock
and volume,
yeah, you know, the Blackbird this particular one, and then if you were to go with like the Yeti underquilt, it's going to be a heavier setup.
Yeah.
You know, but I think, like we always say, invest in sleep.
For sure.
Invest in sleep, and if that's what gets you the best night's sleep, then that's what you should go with.
Yeah.
So great hammock. I still use this.
So we still use all these hammocks
quite often.
Yeah.
One of the things that I actually prefer that the Chameleon has as opposed to the Warbonnet is the Warbonnets have the single point tie outs. And so what that means is there's a tie out on either side of the Blackbird, and it comes to a single point, and it works great. But I've noticed in the Chameleon it does a better job of keeping the fabric off of your face, and then off of your feet as well. It's very, very nitpicky.
Yeah.
But that's just one of the things I notice. By all means, I sleep great in the Blackbird.
Yeah.
So.
And one thing I like about the Blackbird's tie outs is that, now it kind of sucks because you can't move them around, but the tie out, one of the tie outs on the Blackbird actually ties out from the bug net and not from the underquilted, or not from the body of the hammock itself, and that kind of helps to just like widen that net for you. Yeah. But so if you want to know more about this specific hammock, we have a review on it. Check it out. But like we said earlier, there is a new version of the XLC that appears to be much better than this. So
well, it's more customizable.
It's much more customizable.
Yeah.
And it's much more like the second hammock in our arsenal. This is funny because it's in a Dream Hammock stuff sack, but this is the Dutchware Chameleon. This has been our default hammock for over the past year right now.
Yeah.
Obvious advantage to this hammock is it is the most modular. So in terms of the most options you can put on it, the most customizable, and that's something that is a real advantage to this hammock. He makes all these accessories for it. When you buy it, you can customize a lot of stuff. It is certainly you can get this in the lightest configuration, I think. Now, you can make a Dream Hammock that's really light, but this is super light, and it's super, I mean, look how small that gets. I mean, it's nothing. So that, I think, compared to the other two hammocks, the Dutchware in general is going to be the smallest and the lightest, but like I said, you can make a Dream Hammock that probably rivals that.
Yeah, and again, that's the Hexon 1.0
Yeah, this is
fabric.
Hexon 1.0 fabric.
And then with the peak loft on there, you're looking at about a little over 24 ounces for the setup.
Yeah.
General, and again, about $200 once you get those accessories going, like the peak loft, the bug net, that type of thing.
Yeah. And you can get this hammock in a bunch of different fabrics, a bunch of different colors, a bunch of different stuff.
Yeah.
We like the Hexon 1.0 fabric. That's worked well for us. And if you're within the weight tolerance of that fabric and you like more of like a sinking, stretching feel, maybe, definitely consider the Hexon 1.0.
Yeah, and then one thing I like about the Chameleon also is that I like the addition of the stock pack hooks on it. I'm used to those. I prefer the pack hooks built into it. I like the dual point tie outs.
And you can move them around.
I like the fact that how the zippers work, how you can zip in and out from each side.
Nice.
So it offers some luxury items.
Yeah.
And the weight is really good.
It's a light hammock.
Yeah. So that's my go-to hammock, and I couldn't be happier with it. So.
Yeah, that's basically been our default hammock, and we don't necessarily see that changing. But that's the Dutchware Chameleon.
Now, like flip-flopping, if you're a person that wants to really customize your hammock at the time of it being built,
Time of purchase, yeah.
Yeah, that I feel like that's a big advantage of Dream Hammock.
So this is the Dream Hammock Darien. This is the newest hammock we've gotten. My wife got this for my birthday for me. I took it to Colorado, still sleeping in it. This is the only hammock out of the three we don't have a standalone review on yet, just because we're still using it.
How many nights have you had in that thing?
I mean, I've had like almost 10 nights in it, so I could probably do a review.
Yeah.
Now,
one thing.
the one thing about this hammock, this is a wide hammock, and it's very comfortable, incredibly comfortable. It makes me want to get a wide Chameleon. There's something about a wide hammock. It's easier.
It's like you can stretch out.
You can stretch out in it. It's easier to lay on your side in a wide hammock, I think. But it's hard, I can't really compare this directly to the other two because this is a wide and the other two aren't. Now, even though this hammock is about the same weight as the Chameleon, it's bigger, it's bulkier. And it doesn't have a lot of the features that the Chameleon has, so it doesn't have pack hooks, it doesn't have the ability to change lay, it doesn't have the ability to zip in and zip out on either side of the hammock, and that's something I miss about this hammock.
But you know what, like, but that's also the advantage of, you know, if you know what you want and you're dialed in, you can get that hammock customized at the time of build for you. And the also sweet thing is that this is made in the great state of Ohio.
Made in Ohio, and that's fantastic. But yeah, like Andy said, I believe this one, like when you order it from Dream Hammock, you can really customize it, which is pretty cool. So like I said, we've been using this for like a month or two, just still trying to get a feel for it. I really like the wideness of it a lot. But it is a little bit bulkier than the Chameleon, and I do miss the ability to zip in and zip out or just access the hammock from both sides. And even though I like the tie-outs on this hammock, I like the tie-outs on the Chameleon better, and I like the ability to move the tie-outs around. But having said that, this is still a super comfortable hammock, and if weight and bulk and stuff is not a factor, you might consider something like a wide hammock, because it's just, I don't know what about it, it's just really comfortable.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get some other hammocks.
We're gonna have to get some other. I never even considered ever getting a wide hammock, but my wife got it for me, and like, there's something about being in a wide, you have so much more space, and if you're a side sleeper, it might be something to consider.
And then just some basic stats. This one's in the Robic 1.2 fabric.
This is a Robic 1.2, which is a pretty thin fabric. It's like a Hexon 1.0, but like a little bit heavier. I really like the Robic 1.2.
And then you've got a Ridgeline organizer on there, and then weights coming in
about the same.
About the same as the Chameleon, about 24 ounces.
Yeah. Again,
with accessories and suspension, you're looking about $200.
Yeah. So they're about the same. This, like I said, we do not have a standalone review on this yet. It'll be coming. We're still getting to know it. So let's get down to the important stuff. So why would you pick one of these hammocks over the other?
Yeah, that is a tough question. It's a tough question. That's a tough question to ask. But I think we have some guidance we can offer.
So if you are someone and you know exactly what you want in a hammock, like super dialed in at the point of customization.
Yeah, you've got good experience hammocking. You know what you like and don't like.
Like, you know what lay you only want to have. You know if you want pack hooks or not. You know what you want in a bug net. You know what you want in fabric. You probably consider going with something like a Dream Hammock, because they offer the most amount of customization, I think, at the point of purchase.
At the point of purchase,
yes.
yeah. So they will build that. And actually, if you head over to Outdoor Adventures, and they did Jason went through the factory or the basement, and it shows like their build process and how each order is individually customized. Yeah. That was pretty cool.
That was pretty cool. Yeah. Now, if you're someone who wants a great hammock out of the box and you don't necessarily know what you want right away, we're going to recommend the Chameleon. Overall, we like this hammock over the other two. We just have the most use with it, and the thing we love about it is you just buy it, and like if you want a top cover later, just get a top cover.
Yeah, I mean, especially for like the new hammocker, you know, the Chameleon, you can change everything as you get into hammocking. You can add more accessories, you can take away more accessories, you can figure out what your likes and dislikes are, and you can customize the hammock to that. And I mean, the hammock is super comfortable.
It's very comfortable.
It's very comfortable. So I think you know, especially from a new to hammocking point of view, I mean, not necessarily just that either. Like, we've been hammocking for a few years now, and we still prefer this, but I think it just offers you the ability to customize your experience as you go along with it. So
the last one, we're talking the Warbonnet XLC. Why would you get this? This is just old reliable.
It's old reliable.
You don't have to worry about a thing.
It's a tank. It's comfortable. It has great storage options. And the new XLCs has
a lot of features.
Has a lot of cool features as well. So
if you just want to buy a hammock, you don't want to customize anything, you know maybe what fabric you want, that's it, you don't have to worry about it, easy to set up, out of the box.
Yeah, great storage, great support, great accessories as well.
go with this one.
Yeah, Warbonnet. I mean, Warbonnet's been around, so they know what they're doing.
Yeah. So that's going to wrap up this comparison, high-level comparison video. If you want to know more about some of these, we have other reviews. We're just trying to keep this, topical, pros, cons, why you'd use these in different situations. In terms of while you're actually backpacking, they're all going to perform fairly similar in terms of takedown and setup.
Yeah.
Of
course, there's lots of different suspension options and stuff like that.
We're not getting into that. We tend to go with tree straps, but whatever.
But I mean, all three of these are made by great cottage companies that really stand behind their products and offer great customer service as well. There's not going to be an advantage or disadvantage to a manufacturer. They're all really good. They all support their products really well and have great customer service. Prices are around the same, So you can't go wrong with either of them. But hopefully this video helps, because we get a lot of questions about what should I choose, and it's all about you as an individual. But you have our thoughts now, maybe to help you make the decision.
So that's it for this video. If you have questions about these hammocks, leave them in the comments, and we will see everyone on the next one.
Thanks.